Yes, we're back in Cleveland, Ohio, the northern end of the Buckeye State. And the battle for Ohio Cup continues here tonight. Reds winning the opener here last night. And we welcome you to Progressive Field, the Redlegs and the Cleveland Indians. Hi again, everybody, alongside the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley and Jeff Pecoro. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome to Reds Baseball. Tell you what, been a lot of talk lately about Billy Hamilton going back into that leadoff spot, but the way Schebler's going and the way Hamilton's going, batting primarily in that number 9 hole, Reds have a good thing going right now.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now for Billy Hamilton and Scott Schebler, it's working awfully well. And a lot of it has to do with the ability for Billy Hamilton to get on base. We talk about it time and time again. If Billy's on board, it seems to create havoc on the defensive front. But Billy, to me, I think what he does is he sets things up for Schebler, or anybody for that matter that hits behind him. When Billy's on base, you're going to get fastballs early, and boy, does that play right into Scott Schebler's hand. Look at that.
4 base hits last night, including that home run in the 9th inning that proved to be a big home run after the Indians nearly rallied to tie it. Had the tying one at the plate, you may remember, in the bottom of the 9th inning. All right, let's turn the page now to tonight. Sal Romano, flip a coin, it seems like, Cowboy. You never know one start to the next what you might get.
Well, the numbers would tell you against American League clubs, he's pitched very well. But I think what happens against American League clubs is he's not trying to strike everybody out. He's just trying to make pitches down in the strike zone. And when we've seen Romano successful, it has always been down in the strike zone. Now, every once in a while, you're going to get a pitch up and you're going to get a swing and miss. But he's successful more times than not down in the zone.
Successful would describe tonight's Cleveland starter. He's going to the All-Star game, Trevor Bauer.
This guy's stuff is just electric. Not only the curveball and the fastball, he's added a slider to go with it, the Corey Kluber slider. But when you can throw a breaking ball that comes straight over the top and then you follow it up with that fastball, tough to swing.
All right, remember a couple of weeks ago I told you Jim Day came up with that nickname for Jesse Winker, DeWink. Remember that? Remember? When we come back, how about this combination? DeWink and DeRBI. Boy, Jim Day would love that. Pick standing by with that when we return.
Well, you know, we talk quite a bit about the 3 All-Stars that the Reds have, and rightfully so. But there has been one player on this team who has really come into his own of late. He's got a lot more playing time, and look what this kid has done. Jesse Winker, the last 5 games, he's hitting .471 with 3 doubles and 4 RBIs, 8 for 17 at the plate. And it seems like every time he comes up, there's a guy on base. He has come through. It's time now for tonight's IGS Bringing the Energy, and we focus in on Jesse Winker in his last 27 games since he moved out of the leadoff spot. How about a .346 average, 3 doubles, 5 homers, 24 RBI. So Jesse Winker is getting to play a lot more, and playing in an American League park, all 4 outfielders can play. It's round 2 of the Ohio Cup, and it's up next.
He's already made his major league debut a couple of years ago with the New York Mets, but he's in there tonight. And let's take a look at the starting lineup under manager Jim Riggleman. 37 and 36 since he became the skipper, and you may remember they started 0-3. Schebler, Herrera at second, Votto at first, a DH Jeanette. Suarez at third, Winker in left, and allowed a third to Barnhart catching, Blandino at short, Billy Hamilton in center field. And going to the All-Star game for the first time will be Trevor Bauer. But you know, the Reds are playing such good baseball right now, Cowboy. A little more fun down there in that dugout.
It's always more fun winning than losing. You can bet your bottom dollar.
Wonder if they went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today doing that air guitar.
I don't think so.
Well, you never know. Mighty good numbers for Trevor Bauer. Look at his strikeout total, 156 of them against just 37 walks.
Well, to have that type of stuff with that type of command, it just shows you strike out more than a batter an inning by a boatload. You start looking at the numbers for Trevor Bauer, 5th in the AL and ERA, 3rd in those strikeout department. We'll see how he handles the Reds here tonight. It's not always been his best ball game when he's faced the Redlegs.
He's made 4 career starts against Cincinnati, a record of 1-2 with an ERA of almost 5. We'll see how it goes here tonight. He was a 17-game winner a season ago. Scott Schebler digging in, breaking ball inside ball 1. This one underway. Game 2 of 3. Another night game tomorrow night. Tyler Mahle against Carlos Carrasco. Then the Reds will have an off day and finish up the mythical first half of the season leading up to the All-Star break with a 3-game series in St. Louis starting Friday. It's a nice bounce back win for the Reds and Jim Riggleman's team here last night after the 2 really tough defeats on Saturday and Sunday at Wrigley Field. 2-1 on Schebler. You know, we talked about how good Romano has been in interleague play this year. I mean, Bauer has been virtually unhittable. In 12 2/3 innings, a couple of starts, he has allowed 1 earned run. That's a 2-0 record with a 0.7 ERA. And foul tipped into the mitt of Perez, and that's a strikeout to begin the game.
Very difficult to hit back-to-back pitches like Bauer just delivered. The curveball is tough enough to hit, Tom, and that's what you get the strikeout on there. But the pitch before was an 85-mile-an-hour slider right under the hands of Schebler that drew a swing and miss as well.
Bauer, a Southern Californian, pitched collegiately at UCLA. He was a teammate there with Garrett Cole, the outstanding pitcher, now, of course, with the Houston Astros. He was a 3rd overall pick in the draft in 2011 by the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was in the big leagues 1 year later. First player from that draft class to reach the big leagues. But, you know, he has some very strong opinions and theories about how to prepare his body, how to prepare for a start. Apparently that did not sit very well with the duo of Tony La Russa and Kirk Gibson, who was a field manager, and they shipped him out of town a year later to Cleveland. 2-2 on Dilson Herrera.
Well, I think with any player or pitcher at this level of competition, you can do your own thing as long as you get results. And he was not getting results in Arizona.
Herrera does not go around, so he has run the count full, and this is his first major league at bat. We mentioned as a Cincinnati Red, just called up over the weekend. Made 1 appearance on Friday, a pinch runner. And a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. It's the first time he's in the big league since September of 2015. Look at Cleveland defensively, the same players everywhere in the field with the exception of the battery, where it's Roberto Perez behind the plate and Bauer on the mound. Ball 1 to Joey Votto. I mean, Bauer has been a regular part of a major league rotation going back to 14. He made 22 starts at the minor league level in 13. Only a handful of starts with a big league team, but starting the next year, 26, 30, 28, a career high 31 starts a season ago, winning 17. See the numbers the last couple of years. Good numbers.
He's on quite the roll in 2018 compared to those other 2 years.
Fastball strike to Joey Votto. I'm not sure he agreed with that call. Home plate umpire tonight, James Hoy. Ryan Addison at first base. Glenn Walcott at second. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, the umpire, at third. Bauer probably cannot believe that Votto fouled that pitch off, and he does it again. And he's looking out at Bauer like, hey, who can hit that pitch?
Bauer seems to be smiling as well.
Well, they might face each other in the All-Star game next week. That'll be in D.C. on Tuesday night. And he strikes out the side with a breaking ball. What an impressive start to this one for Trevor Bauer. Romano tries to answer when we return. Lineup only at your Tri-State Chevy dealer by Skyline Chili. Feeling good, it's Skyline time. And by stepped up to GMC with nearly $4,000 purchase cash on an Acadia Denali when you finance through GM Financial. Cleveland lineup: Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, all going to the All-Star game. Encarnacion, Alonso, Kipnis in the middle. Naquin, Perez, Allen, the latter third. Lindor looks at ball one from right-hander Sal Romano. His last 5 starts, ERA right around 4.5. The Reds have won 4 of those 5 games. He had a couple of very impressive outings, in fairness, against Kansas City and Detroit. And those certainly are, without Miguel Cabrera in that Tiger lineup, nowhere near the potency. And we know all about Kansas City, one of the lowest scoring teams in all of Major League Baseball. But he got him out. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and his command was good in those ball games. I didn't think he was trying to overthrow. And that is the tendency that we see a lot of times when that's what gets Romano in trouble.
Lindor again fouls it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What a start to his season. My, oh my. Just short of being a .300 batter. 23 home runs, 57 runs batted in, a whopping 28 doubles. See his league ranks: first in hits, first in runs scored. And he has played long ball for the 24th time.
You and I were talking before this ball game ever began. I'm trying to remember who was sitting in this booth, but I told him then, if he's up early, he's in trouble. He's up early. That's a problem.
No doubt the second it left the bat. So 1-0 Indians after 1 batter. And here's Michael Brantley. He has 11 home runs. He also has 50 runs batted in. Each of the first 3 hitters in this lineup with 50 or more runs batted in. And you have Lindor batting leadoff. On the ground, Blandino to start there tonight, 1 away. The rest of the Reds on defense. Winker in place of Duvall tonight in left. Along the infield, a brand new middle infield. Peraza off, Jeanette the DH, so it's Blandino and Herrera. Once again, it's Tucker Barnhart. That was a home run given up on a 2-strike pitch. Reds pitchers this year have given up 49 home runs with 2 strikes in an at bat. That is the most in Major League Baseball. Strike called. Quickly 0-2 on Jose Ramirez.
See that last breaking ball that Romano threw there? That's a good breaking ball. Starts in the middle of the plate, dives into the dirt. The reason you're not getting a swing on that is because your fastball doesn't start in the same place.
Ramirez, the leading vote getter in the American League, and he'll start for the second straight year at third base.
That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. It's amazing. The second half of 2016, he took over that job, had a monster postseason, and this one is lit into right center field. 2-0 Indians.
Can't pitch up there. Cannot pitch up there. That is up, middle, and out over the plate. These first 4 batters, they will beat your brains out if you try to pitch up there.
Encarnacion trying to do the same on that first pitch fastball. Fouls it away. Edwin with 20 long ones on the year. 62 runs batted in. That's a team high. You know, it really gives you an idea about the imbalance. Is something we touched upon very briefly last night with this Indians lineup and what moves the Tribe will consider making around the trade deadline. I mean, the top 4 hitters in this lineup, and really the 5th, Alonso, after the home run last night, is now 1 RBI away from also having 50. That would be 5 batters to start. Of the 9 you send to the plate with 50 or more runs batted in, that's a second out of the inning on the bouncing ball down to Suarez. But you get down to the bottom, Kipnis, Naquin, and this is due to some injuries. Perez and Allen, there's just not much there. Kipnis, a shadow of the player he was as recently as 2 years ago. Here's Yonder Alonso. Hit his 13th home run of the season here last night. Scored a couple of runs, was on base twice. Former #1 draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds out of the University of Miami. Was traded to San Diego in the Matt Latos deal, moved from there to Oakland for a short while, and had a big year last year. Hit 28 home runs and signed as a free agent with the Indians. Short right center, and Billy will get it. That's all. A pair of solo home runs in the first. Off the bats of Lindor and Ramirez.
Trevor Bauer is an all-star as he strikes out the Reds in order with 3 different pitches. Curveball to Schebler, fastball to Herrera, and then a backdoor slider that he learned from Corey Kluber to get Votto. And then the little point to the head. I'm not sure what message he was sending there, but it was something.
I was just getting ready to ask you what you think he was doing there. He looking at Votto when he did that?
He was looking right at him. Now Joey was not looking at him, but there was a little bit of banter going back and forth as Votto fouled off a couple of pitches with that patented check swing.
First pitch swinging Scooter Gennett to begin the Reds' second inning, and that's easy for Lindor. 1 away.
Batting fifth now for Cincinnati, #7, the third baseman, Eugenio Suarez.
What a year it has been for Eugenio Suarez. 19 home runs, a league best 68 runs batted in. Had 1 hit, was on base twice, scored a run here last night after a big weekend in Chicago, where of course Sunday he learned that for the first time in his young career he's off to the All-Star game next week. Comes in with the longest active hitting streak in the National League, 12 in a row for Suarez, and that's why that batting average just continues to climb. You mentioned that last night. It's another strikeout. 4 of the first 5 batters on the night.
It is pretty evident that the Reds are not picking the ball up out of the hand of Bauer here early. And a lot of it has to do with that first pitch curveball, and then he can come back with this. A little quick slider, late break. It comes out flat like a fastball, and then it just takes off to the left. That's tough to hit, obviously.
Very little fooling around out there from Bauer. He gets a baseball and he is ready to go, man. He might be, if not the quickest, and we don't see everybody in the American League, but it's hard to imagine there is a guy that is picking up the pace of things on the mound any faster than Trevor Bauer. 2-0 on Winker. 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk. How about that? Talked about the strikeout total for Bauer. Third most in a league. Second time in the Indians' long franchise history. They have 4 pitchers with 100 or more strikeouts before the All-Star break. It is some kind of starting rotation. Their bullpen has pitched the fewest number of innings of any bullpen in Major League Baseball. It clearly is the #1 asset on this Indians team, is that rotation. Kluber twice has won Cy Young awards. Bauer getting better every year. Carrasco can be as dominant as anybody in the league. Saw Clevenger punch out 11 in 6 innings, although the Reds beat him last night. And they're without Salazar, who's still hurt.
He'd be on that 100 strikeout list as well.
Both the Brewers and the Cubbies lost last night. So still a 1.5-game spread for the Brewers over Chicago atop the National League Central. Boy, things really tightening up in that National League West. Arizona's come back down to earth. Dodgers and Giants have played much better. Colorado's even in the mix, 3.5 back. Pull to the right side. Ranging far to the glove side is Kipnis, and that'll be all for the Reds in the second. 2-0 Cleveland. This year, but when they get them after a slow start, they are winning and winning and winning to the tune of 14 in a row. They got one from that man right there last night, Anthony DeSclafani.
I think it tells you a little bit about this Reds offense. Just give them a little bit of a chance.
And the bullpen.
Put some runs on the board.
Romano gives up 2 solo home runs in the opening inning, so he trails by a pair as we start the bottom of the second. It'll be Kipnis followed by Naquin and Perez. 2-0 on Kipnis.
First 2 at bats last night didn't look so good for Kipnis. The last 2, very good.
This guy's had a solid major league career.
Yes.
There have been times when he's been as good offensively as any second baseman in the American League. And they're hoping he can find that again. And there's a leadoff walk here in the second inning. First given up by Romano. That brings Naquin to the plate. Just a .259 batter, couple of home runs, 16 batted in. Naquin getting some playing time. They have a couple of outfielders that would normally be in their lineup. Lonnie Chisenhall, second straight year he's having major issues with his calf. Both calves were injured last year, and he's had both injured this year.
And do you think that is because he is playing a position that he's not used to playing? I mean, he came up as a third baseman, not as an outfielder.
You're right.
Doing a whole lot more running out there than you would at third base.
Bradley Zimmer with a rib injury going all the way back to the month of May. They were expecting big things out of Zimmer this year. Highly touted prospect, came up last year with a big league club. 1-2 on Naquin. And that is shot into left field, and that will fall in a hit. Winker will throw into third. And that's a double for Naquin after a leadoff walk, second and third, and nobody out.
Another pitch up and in the middle of the plate, and that was a breaking ball.
Indians in prime position to try and add to this 2-0 lead. The Reds infield conceding the run. Batter is Perez. Strike one. Just a 141 batter.
I think at this point, if you're Jim Riggleman, you're just trying to get outs before you get back to the top of the order.
Down to third, and the ball bobbled by Suarez. Everybody safe. That'll be an error on the Reds' third baseman.
Well, Perez did not run at all down the line. Suarez almost still threw him out after dropping the ball.
They had the runner out at the plate. So runners at first and second base, still nobody out, and Cleveland with a 3-0 lead. Here's Greg Allen, the number 9 hitter and center fielder, shows bunt, takes a breaking ball low. Mike Sarbaugh, the third base coach, going through the signs with his center fielder, who squares again and lays it down perfectly, and he can fly. Given the sacrifice, advancing Naquin down to third, Perez up to second base, and we'll go back to the top of the order with one out in the inning. You can't roll it out there any better than that.
Pretty good fun.
Lindor led off the game with a home run down the right field line, his 24th home run of this season, and that ties him with, or it temporarily tied him with Ramirez for the most on a team. And then 2 batters later, Ramirez said no deal. He hit number 25. Lindor headed to his 3rd straight All-Star game, and this will bring in a run on the ground ball at Herrera. That'll plate Naquin, so the bunt advances the runners. Lindor puts it in play. 4-0 Indians.
And if you're in a position where your infield is playing in there, that's a base hit into right field. That's why you have to play back. Now, if you've got a pitcher on the mound that has great command and is able to get a ground ball or get a ball hit off the end of the bat, you may have a chance to play in there. That's not the case here tonight.
Bradley grounded out to Blandino, the shortstop, in the 1st inning. 4 runs, 3 hits, and a walk, along with a big error in this inning. Votto will handle it himself. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd. We move to the 3rd. All Indians so far. Season during interleague play, 13. The Reds won 11, and already with 9 wins against only 2 losses so far this year, matching up with the American League Central.
This is by far the best start the Reds have gotten off to in interleague play. Even when the Reds were playing great baseball years back, they had a tough time in interleague play.
4-0 Indians in front. It'll be Blandino, Hamilton, then back to the top, and Schebler. Reds have 1 base runner so far against Trevor Bauer. That was a 2-out walk to DeWink. Jesse Winker. Love that nickname Jim Day gave him. Love that nickname. Now, you know, Jim's a pretty humble guy. He's not going to, he's going to deny that it was him that gave him that nickname, but we know he did, and it's a good one. Think it might stick. 1-1 is high and away to Blandino. 221 batter with a home run, 8 driven in. Hit off the end of the bat, fouled, even to count 2-2. And look out down there, Billy Hamilton. Pretty slick play. He can go get him even in the on-deck circle.
Mr. Bauer has it working today.
Five strikeouts for Bauer. Coming up a little bit later on, we'll have our hold true moment of the night. And certainly holding true to all-star form through the first 8 batters is one Trevor Bauer. 5 strikeouts, no hits. Here's Billy. Well, what a run he has been on of late. We talked about it a little bit last night. His last 27 games, a .337 batter. And you see 9 for his last 14. Couple of more hits here last night, stealing bases, scoring a ton of runs. And Hamilton continues to be asked, and he says, look, my goal is to get back into the leadoff spot. That's my goal.
I think the Reds would like for him to be in the leadoff spot, but to still be productive getting on base in that leadoff spot. Don't change what you're doing just because you're hitting in a different spot in the order.
You know, that's something that you talked about when discussing Jesse Winker about a month ago. You know, you were talking about you weren't a big fan of him being in a leadoff spot because you thought he was capable of being a run producer, and here he has knocked in nearly a run per game since being moved out of the leadoff spot.
Well, I think that Jesse is not intimidated by the big moment when he's at the plate, and I think a lot of times if you're hitting him in the leadoff spot or the number 2 spot, he's going to take those borderline pitches because he's trying to work the count and he's trying to get on base. Well, you put him in a spot where he can drive in runs, that borderline pitch, he's going to barrel up. He's going to drive some runs home for you.
First two retired in the third. Here's Shebler. He struck out swinging his first time up. Bauer struck out the side in that opening inning. And he's trying to get Shebler for a second time. Boy, that is a venomous breaking ball. Wow. This guy is rolling tonight. Rolling. Tomorrow on Fox, Croatia taking on Harry Kane in England. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. on Fox, streaming live on the Fox Sports app. The winner will meet France in the World Cup final 5 days from now. I mean to tell you, Cowboy, you know, you have had that room of yours with a do not disturb sign. You're bringing in the room service. And between Wimbledon and the World Cup, you just can't get enough. You are boarded up in that room.
Yeah.
Tea and crumpets when you're watching
Harry.
Wimbledon.
There's a lot of Harrys. A lot of that name in England, I guess.
Fly ball center field off the bat of Ramirez. Romano needs a quick and, more importantly, needs a scoreless inning. Indians with 2 home runs in the first, a walk, a double, an error, a ground out, bringing in 2 more in the second.
Well, especially when you've got a guy on the other side in Trevor Bauer that is just mowing through your lineup. The only way you can bring your hitters back into the ball game is to put some zeros and some quick innings up.
Encarnacion bounced out to Suarez in the first inning. He laces that pitch, but right at the left fielder Winker, and nearly took his glove off. It was hit so hard, and a lot of top spin on it. Well, we invite you to get the exclusive Mavis bobblehead and your ticket to the Sunday, June 22nd game with the Hotel Transylvania ticket package. Special character appearances by Drac and Mavis. This limited edition bobblehead is only available through this offer. Get yours tonight at Reds.com/themes. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Yonder Alonso. He flied out to Billy Hamilton in the first inning, 0 for 1.
We talked about this last night with Alonso. When he first got to the big leagues, everything was left center or to the left side of second base. And now we play him. I mean, it is major pull. Hit a home run last night. Fastball up, and he hooked it out of here. When you've got your, not only your infield, but you've got Billy Hamilton shaded well towards right center field in the outfield.
Now this one he does hit the other way, but Winker is there, and that will retire the side. So it is a scoreless inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Romano.
to July 10th of 2001. I cannot believe it was 17 years ago. Cal Ripken's 19th and final All-Star game. Starting shortstop Alex Rodriguez allowed Ripken to play his original position at the start of the game. Ripken ended his All-Star game career by hitting a home run in the third inning and obliged the fans in Seattle with the curtain call. By the way, it was also the final All-Star game for another great one, and Tony Gwynn. Man.
The late, great Tony Gwynn. Boy, we miss him when we go to San Diego. It was always just such a pleasure when he was a player, then later a broadcaster, just to spend time with him and
he had
talk,
a great
love
laugh.
to talk.
Great laugh.
Yeah, great laugh. Good
Very
man.
infectious personality.
Good man. All right, here's Gilson Herrera. And he looks at a breaking ball and there's a strike. Struck out swinging his first time up. Of course, he's not alone. Check swing and a roller right back to Bauer.
Now to the plate for the Reds, first baseman, Joey Votto.
You think about Herrera for a minute. He was such a highly touted prospect for the New York Mets organization. Came up so young, 20 years old. And you think here he is in a big league game tonight in 2018. The last time he played in a major league game was 2015. He's had so many injuries since then. Soft liner caught for the second out here in the fourth inning.
That's actually the best swing we've had yet.
Now stepping in for the Reds, designated hitter.
Well, you were talking about Herrera. You hurt your shoulder. It doesn't matter if you're a pitcher or a position player. If you can't throw, you can't play. It's the National League.
Got some big league hair. I mean, take a look at that dude he's got working. Whole lot on the top, not much on the sides. Man.
Get your hat over that.
Gosh, I wish I had hair like that. We were talking about that last night. You were rubbing it in. You were rubbing it in with Clevenger.
Now he's got big time hair.
There's no doubt.
I'm not sure I could wear it that long.
Well, you know, you had the mullet going. I mean, that was a different time, a different era. Have you considered it all going back to the mullet as it's a 1-2-3 inning? Have you thought about it at all?
Sure I have.
Do you think it will happen?
Doubt it.
Maybe. I like maybe. By Cincinnati Children's, now ranked number 2 in the nation by U.S. News and World Report. And by your local Ford dealer, Ford. Go further. Boy, we had a lot of kids in our hotel that were in those sprinklers last night. It's a perfect weather night, as it's been every day on this trip. Great weather in Chicago. It's, boy, is it nice here. High tomorrow, 77 and sunshine we're expecting. Fly ball to center on the first pitch into Cleveland, fourth, and that's an out by Kipnis.
I'm not sure that you normally would get this kind of weather in the middle of July in the Midwest.
It's been incredible.
It's amazing.
Just perfect.
St. Louis will make up for it because it's going to be smoking.
It's what they're saying. Thank you for reminding me. Supposed to be really nice back at home. Another hot day tomorrow, I understand. But then temperature slipping into the mid-80s, much like it was here in Cleveland today. Breaking ball in there, a strike to Naquin. A glorious night here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, along the banks of Lake Erie. It's in the air, left field. Winker's got it. How about that? 2 quick outs here for Romano. And now a quick message from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready to get lucky.
Well, Romano's going to have to be putting up goose egg after goose egg the rest of his stay in this game, because the Reds have put what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a total of 6 balls in play against Trevor Bauer without a single hit.
Some of the better stuff I've seen in a while, at least through the first 4 innings.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say I don't know how long it's going to last, but for the first 4, it's the most dominant 4 innings I've seen by a pitcher against this Reds lineup this year. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Romano. That's his first strikeout. So Bauer back at it. Reds will hit in the 5th.
All-Star Game presented by MasterCard, July 17th on Fox. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern Time. And then you see the National League starters. Freddie Freeman, the highest vote getter. All-Star Game, of course, in Washington, D.C. And time now for Lowe's whole team together. Most consecutive seasons with multiple All-Stars. The Yankees have done it 26 consecutive years. The Cardinals now 11. Yadier Molina added yesterday as a replacement for Buster Posey, and the Reds 9 straight seasons with multiple All-Stars. Gentlemen,
It's good stuff there, Pick. Thank you very much. Of course, 3 of them will be going: Scooter Gennett, Joey Votto, and a Eugenio Suarez. And Suarez will lead things off against Bauer. Reds looking for their first hit, trailing 4-0. They bat in the 5th inning. And there's that breaking ball. My, oh my.
Well, Bauer's been able to throw that for a first pitch strike seemingly at will. Oh. When you can throw it for a strike on the first pitch, you're going to get swings like this.
Did not have a strikeout in the 4th inning. Full foul. After striking out 6 in the first 3, including the side in the opening inning.
Now, we were looking at that graphic of the All-Star starters. The guy that jumps out to me more than anybody else on that page is Matt Kemp. They were talking about releasing him.
Well, for all intents and purposes, Atlanta did release him.
Yeah.
And the other guy that jumps out because he is really having a bad year is Bryce Harper. And, you know, of all the talk about the highest paid player in the game, free agent at the end of the year, everybody in the sweepstakes, who's going to go after Bryce Harper? Believe me, I am not insinuating for a second that Harper has not had great years in his career. But if you look back and examine year by year of his career, he's had a couple of clunkers. And there's a first base hit for the Reds in the game tonight by Jesse Winker. So Winker has reached twice. The only Red to reach base. A walk and now a single.
Fastball right down Broadway. Starting everybody else with a curveball, but he starts Winker with that fastball after walking him the previous at bat.
In that previous at bat, he walked him on 4 straight pitches. So here we go. Reds finally have a base runner. It's only the 2nd batter tonight he's had to work out of the stretch, and he will get a double play working out of the stretch. Reds finally get a hit, but a double play right behind it. To the ballpark. Next one coming up July the 20th. Reds and the Pirates. You can be there as low as $12 and The spectacular post-game fireworks show presented by Cooper Tire. Visit Reds.com. Good crowd here tonight.
Back-to-back nights where got a lot of folks in this ballpark.
That almost looked like a cursive writing word there. The way those clouds are sort of lined up. Pull to the right side, and Votto will beat Allen to the bag for the first out. Romano getting on a pretty good roll here. 10 in a row retired by Sal Romano. Indians 2 in the first inning on home runs by the man who bats right now, Lindor, along with Ramirez. That one popped up down the left field line in fair territory. It's Winker for the second out. And the Cleveland portion of the battle for the Ohio Cup will wrap up here tomorrow night. Reds continue their swing into summer. The series finale and our coverage on Fox Sports Ohio begins at 6:30. Reds Live will kick it all off. Swing into summer presented by Click It or Ticket.
Talked about the 10-11 in a row now that Romano has retired. You also see where those pitches have been down, and when he's missed down, not in the middle. And there have actually been a couple of pitches. The first pitch to Lindor and the backdoor breaking ball here to Michael Brantley. If you're consistently down, you'll get those calls.
Missing with the last two, 3 balls and a strike now to Brantley, who's 0 for 2, is grounded out to Blandino and tapped out to Votto. And he goes Votto's way once more. Romano, 3 straight perfect innings. He's retired 12 in a row, but on the short end of a 4-0 game.
For Trevor Bauer, punched out the side to begin with. Not only that big sweeping hook, but he was able to get his fastball in there as well. But look at the movement on this breaking ball, whether it's at the top of the zone or at the bottom of the zone. It looks like the bottom is falling out of all of those pitches. That's straight drop, straight down.
Going for his 7th straight quality start, where he has not allowed a home run and has struck out 8 or more batters. No pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball has ever done that. The last home run he gave up was 47 innings ago, back on June the 2nd.
That's pretty solid in this day and age of the home run.
Go face Blandino, Hamilton, Shebler. And that one lofted into short right, will fall in, a base hit for Alex Blandino. Hit them where they ain't, as they like to say.
Well, the way Bauer's throwing the ball here tonight, just making contact has been a plus.
All right, now, Billy, let's see if the Reds can get something going here after that leadoff single by Blandino. Their second hit tonight against Bauer. First came in the 5th inning, a 1-out single by Winker, but Bauer rolled up the double play ball on Barnhart, the very next batter. Billy helped him there. That looked like ball 2.
Well, it's tough to decipher the location of any pitch in the upper quadrant of the strike zone for Bauer right now, because that's where he's starting that curveball.
.95 on back-to-back fastballs to Billy Hamilton. The reason he had 18 in the first inning is because he struck out the side. Wow. That comeback fastball, lights out.
We have not seen many of those from Bauer, but that's about as good as you can execute it right there. Looks like it's going to hit Billy in the back of those batting gloves hanging out of the back pocket, and then it just snaps right back over the middle of the plate.
Pulled the string on him there, boy. He's got it all working tonight.
He has given Schebler nothing but the hook here tonight. And right now, Schebler having a tough time locating that curveball.
Well, you got to believe Uncle Charlie's coming back here, don't you?
Well, he started the first one in the middle of the plate. That one was a little bit lower. I imagine the third one is either going to go up high with a fastball, or he's going to drop it down in the dirt with a curveball.
0-2 to count on Schebler. Old Uncle Charlie.
In the dirt.
In the dirt. 8 strikeouts, and so obviously his night is not over, so you can't put him in that category yet of 8 straight starts, or 7 straight starts, pardon me, of 8 or more strikeouts without allowing a home run, because his game is not completed. And I beg your pardon, he has 9 strikeouts in this game. Where did I miss one? He had 3 in the first, right?
Yes.
He had a strikeout of Suarez in the second.
Correct.
He got Blandino and Schebler in the third.
Yes.
He got Suarez in the fifth. And he just got Hamilton, right? Did I miss somebody?
Hamilton and Schebler.
I've been written it down. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Dietz behind 0-2.
He's on his way to get Herrera if he throws another hook like that. That was more of a slider than the curveball on that pitch.
I don't think old number 2 is coming back. Yep. Two and two on Herrera.
He's able to lay off that one. Whew.
Again? No, going with the gas here. 2 and 2 on Herrera. He's got to be ready to hit it.
Came with a 2-seamer. That's the pitch that he got Hamilton on. But that one looked like it sailed on him a little bit. Came back to the plate. It ended up in the middle, but it was high.
He wanted that pitch. It's pretty good at bat right there by Herrera. Laid off the breaking ball, borderline pitch, 2-2 up, and then that one right there very close. Well, now all of a sudden, you know, you find a way. Maybe he's a little upset out there on the mound right now after both of those pitches were called balls and he thought they were strikes. Votto runs into one and you're right back in the game after being thoroughly dominated.
And there is no doubt that there is a bit of frustration being felt by Trevor Bauer right now. Probably not the best time to get bent out of shape with Votto standing at the plate.
Well, he's an emotional guy. There's very little doubt about that. As Bauer, he had an incident earlier this year in a game against the Yankees where their star shortstop Lindor made an error behind him, and he threw his mitt like a little leaguer would do on the mound, and he really ruffled some feathers in that clubhouse.
.25 doubles. StatCast powered by AWS, and you can really see the ball pulled to this side of the infield when he's at the plate. And a lot of that is because he likes to lift the ball, and if you get over the top of it, those ground balls are coming right to the right side.
In the air, handled by Tucker.
Got that one right on his fist.
That'll retire Ramirez to open up the Cleveland 6th inning. Twelve in a row he had retired coming into this 6th inning, so tack one more on. The last Indian to reach was the error made by Suarez, which allowed a run to score on really just a routine ground ball right at him. Encarnacion, nothing of two, a bounce through to Suarez and a line drive hit hard into left. Suarez will throw him out for a second time. 14 in a row set down now by Sal Romano.
Anytime you see these flashes of excellence from a young pitcher, it makes you think, all right, is he starting to get it a little bit? Is he starting to understand it? Well, this is his 19th start of the year, but you've got to see this type of progress and more consistently down in the strike zone. When Romano's down, he gets outs. When he's up, well, you saw the first 2 innings.
They go out.
Yeah.
Here's Yonder Alonso, and Romano falls behind 2 balls, now 3 balls and no strikes. I'm starting to say if he likes something to hit, he's going to swing the bat 3-0. He does. Hits a ground ball. And 15 straight retired by Romano. But he trails the Indians in Bauer by 4.
Ticket package presented by the Ohio Lottery. And you'll receive an exclusive Reds t-shirt and your ticket to the August 14th game. The limited edition t-shirt is only available through this offer. Purchase today at reds.com/themes. And as you can see, the players love the t-shirt. All wearing them before the game today, Tom and Jeff.
I got to tell you, man, I wish I could look like Michael Lorenzen in a t-shirt. I mean, are you kidding me? I want to go back to this picture now. Now, Winker's a big dude, right? But look at this guy, Lorenzen.
Ripped.
You used to look like that cowboy.
No, I've never looked like that. Ever.
You never did?
Never.
Come on, I bet you did as a Mississippi State.
Not at my best day. No.
I mean, you can't believe until you really. I mean, that picture certainly showed it off, and that one does too right there. But, man, when you stand next to that cat.
I try not to do that.
Yeah, right. I'm going to get embarrassed. And what a nice young man. Now, do you think every now and again he just sneaks out? You know, in Cincinnati, after a ball game, slides into a UDF and goes for the 8 scoop.
I don't think so. I don't think ribs and ice cream are in his diet.
So you don't think he eats at night and at midnight? No. No? Well, he's missing out.
He is. He is.
Three and 2 on Scooter Gennett.
How many guys work out during the game? He is. He's down there doing sit-ups.
I know. I mean, the guy is nonstop. And like we said, more importantly, just a really good guy.
I wonder what Iglesias was asking him there. Why are you doing sit-ups? Does that help?
Iglesias wants to go hit.
Makes it, maybe helps you hit.
Maybe that's what Lorenzen told him. He said, have you checked that I have 3 bombs, by the way?
And a granny.
Back up the middle. Lindor will not have a play. Gets to the ball, but that's an infield hit for Scooter. So a leadoff single here in the Cincinnati 7th inning. Suarez coming up.
At the plate now, for the Red Legs, third baseman, Suarez.
Steady diet of that curveball slider combination to Suarez in the first 2 at-bats. Then you start the fastball in the same spot that you've been starting the breaking ball.
One ball, 1 strike. snaps off. More of a slider there on the outside corner than the curveball.
Step up to GMC and get 0% financing for 60 months on most 2018 GMC Terrain models.
Now we're looking for his 10th strikeout of the night, ahead of Suarez at 1 ball, 2 strikes, and here it comes. Started 2 and laid off.
Breaking balls to Suarez have been more of the slider type rather than that big over-the-top hook. Speed very similar, break different.
Strike 3 called with a fastball. 95 on the outside corner.
Two-seamer comes right back to the outside corner.
Down to the plate for Cincinnati, number 33, Justin Winker.
And that ball starts a good 6-8 inches off the plate.
Take a look at this. I mean, you're in the territory there with the Hall of Famer Bob Feller. Sam McDowell was just an outstanding pitcher. And he'll have at least 2 more, well, 1 more, I beg your pardon, 1 more start before the All-Star game, today being Tuesday. He'll pitch Sunday against the New York Yankees. Or maybe they give him an extra day's rest. When you have a 9.5, game lead in your division, closing in on the All-Star break. Terry Francona, guy that's won a couple of World Series, managing in Boston, took this team to the World Series 2 years ago. He knows the drill in veteran pitchers and young pitchers, and if you can spot him here or there. He managed to do that with Clevenger this week, gave him 2 extra days, was working on 7 days rest. This time, because of an off day, they pushed everybody back. Bauer's working on 5 days rest, so he might do that again. We'll see.
But you can bet that Francona will have that conversation with Bauer before any move is made. As we talked about earlier, Trevor Bauer very particular about how he goes about his work in between starts.
Yeah, he's relentless, and there's no variation on his program, and it is his program. That's what really had things working against him almost from the get-go out in Arizona. He was part of, actually, that deal we talked about, him coming here. That was a 3-way trade where the Reds in that deal picked up Shin-Soo Choo. So there were a lot of moving pieces among 3 teams going to different places. And there's a walk to Winker. What a night it's been for him. He's not bothered by Trevor Bauer. 2 walks and a single. The routine starts really early. He's out there a long time. They felt like he was wearing himself out with some of the things he was doing before the game. The long tossing. How many guys you see doing that?
Well, you see guys long toss, and then you see guys like Bauer, who, I mean, he's over in the right center field gap, throwing all the way to the left field line. And he'll do the same thing each time that he comes out in between innings. Couple of fake throws to second, then that crow hop, and throw it as hard as he possibly can to the plate. On the first pitch.
Yep.
Whatever he's doing right now, I'd say stay with it.
Well, that's the thing, and you said it earlier. If it's working, or you were making reference to Billy Hamilton and Scott Schebler, 9 and first, that kind of thing. If it ain't broke, right?
Right.
So right now, when you've got it going on,
stay with it.
Yeah. With the situation we talked about earlier where he threw his glove down on the ground when somebody behind him made an error, that will not be tolerated by any major league manager, and especially Terry Francona.
Can't do that.
Let's see if Barnard can get the Reds on the board with a base hit here. First and second, 1 out, trailing 4-0 in the 7th inning. Breaking ball way inside. It's a nice play right there by Perez, the catcher.
You see how far that ball bounced in front of home plate. And because of the spin and the tightness of the break, you still almost got a swing from Barnhart. I mean, here we are in the 7th inning, and he's still got some serious arm strength with that breaking ball. And that's not an easy pitch to throw over and over and over again. Whew.
2-2 on Tucker. Called strike 3, and Barnard has something to say to James Hoy. That's 11 strikeouts now for Bauer.
It's a good pitch. I know Tucker probably does not agree with it at the moment. It's not always where the catcher catches the baseball, it's where it crosses the plate. That really had some downward action to it.
Alex Blandino with 2 on and 2 out. Blandino lofted one into right field for a single his last time up after striking out against Bauer in the 3rd. 2 on, 2 out. Reds down 4-0 in the 7th. And that's off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes becomes 2 balls and no strikes. Still got a little mustard on that fastball here in the 7th, closing in 98. The pitch count coming up.
You could see Bauer there. He wanted that pitch.
And now the 3-0 pitch is ball 4, and all of a sudden the Reds have a tying run coming to the plate. That's now 4 walks in the game, 2 in the inning by Bauer. He only walked 1 through the front 5. And now a visit to the mound by the pitching coach Carl Willis.
This is one of those spots for Billy Hamilton where you'd really like to see him hook one in that right field corner. See if he can catch Blandino. there's no doubt that Bauer still has something left in the tank. That last fastball was 95 miles an hour. The control not quite as good as what we saw early in the ball game.
We have a left-hander, Oliver Perez, who spent a little bit of time with the Reds in spring training, you may remember, this year. He's getting loose. Bauer will walk out of the regular windup. No, he won't. He's going to the stretch. And here's Billy. Ball one. Hamilton is fly to center and struck out. The bases are loaded against Bauer. The Reds had a total of 4 base runners in the first 6 innings. They have 3 here in the 7th. And this one is in the air and will be the final out. Reds leave them loaded. Bauer 7 innings of 3-hit shutout baseball.
Great game to remember. Not this, because when the ball's up, it's hit way up and way far. When the ball's down, it's on the ground. And you get swings at your breaking ball as well. He has stayed down really since the 2nd inning on.
Yeah, I mean, he's rolled at 15 in a row, retired by Romano, and he'll pitch here into the 7th inning. Look at that pitch count. Only 70 for Romano. First 2 innings, 35 of the 70. And that's when they scored all 4 of their runs. He allowed the home runs that you just saw in the first inning. He had a leadoff walk in the 2nd, followed by a double. An error brought in a run. And after a sacrifice bunt, a ground out brought in a run. Having a jump rope over that fastball down around his feet is Kipnis. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
For Sal Romano, the best thought process is to make the opponent swing the bat, but make him hit your pitch down in the zone, whether it's middle or whether it's on the corner. If it's down, he seems to have some great success. When it's up, not so much.
And he let it at bat get away from him right there. He was ahead in the count at 0 balls and 2 strikes and ends up issuing a walk to Kipnis.
I would imagine that will bring action in the Reds bullpen. Looks like Danny Darwin is on the phone.
So the string ends at 15 in a row retired by Sal. That's his 2nd walk. And both walks have come against Kipnis, and both leading off an inning. Here's Naquin, who doubled to left field after the walk to Kipnis to start the 2nd. And both wound up scoring the 3rd and 4th Indians runs. Rainey, the right-hander, who we saw for all of 4 pitches last night, faced 3 batters, gave up 2 little blue pits. He's getting warmed up in the bullpen.
Starting to miss up again.
It's a ground ball to the right side. Herrera gets the out at second base, and that's all. One away. Tomorrow on an all-new Reds Weekly, Votto, Suarez, Jeanette. Their reactions to being named to the All-Star team. And Jeanette will show off his special lumber. Reds Weekly, presented by Miami Valley Gaming. A new episode tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, leading up to Reds Live at 6:30 on Fox Sports Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go. That'll bring Roberto Perez to the plate. He's reached on an error, got an RBI, and lays down an absolutely perfect bunt. Smart play. And makes it look like there's nothing to it. A catcher.
Well, in this instance, it has nothing to do with speed. It has all to do with placement. And that was a perfect bunt.
Number 9 batter is Greg Allen. He put down a sacrifice, which led to a run in the second inning and then bounced out to Votto in the 5th. Indians threatening with 2 on and 1 out, leading 4-0 in the 7th. Rainey continues to crank it up. One ball and 2 strikes on Allen. Breaking ball swung on and fouled off to the third base side. The count will stay right there. Talking about, what to do with the next batter, Lindor, a switch hitter. At least this year, the numbers would certainly tell you if you can leave Romano in there, you would leave him in there. Lindor, left-handed, is batting in the 260s. Right-handed, he's batting in the 380s. But he is 1 for 3 tonight with a home run from the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Allen. Ball hit hard, but caught by Shepler for the second out. So let's see what happens here. Jim Riggleman is walking up the dugout steps. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It'll be Danny Darwin. Right now, you're at a moment in time where for a young pitcher like Romano, and Cowboy, you know this, you've forgotten more about this than I'll ever know. But right now is the moment where if you make a pitch and get it out, you can walk off the mound here tonight and say, okay, I made some mistakes early, but I got through 7 innings. and only gave up 4 runs, and all 4 came in the first 2 innings, and you feel pretty good about yourself. You give up a ball to the gap here, and all of a sudden that turns into 5 or 6. You're not feeling so good.
Exactly right. Comes down to 1 batter. And this is a pretty good batter. It's not like you can just fire it right down the heart of the plate. You got to make some pitches here.
So let's see what Romano's made of here. This is where you learn something about young pitchers. You learn a little something about him. I mean, this could be a 2-1 game, and you're saying to yourself, okay, am I going to leave this guy in to face Lindor? And sometimes when you're a team like the Reds and your record is what it is, and I'm not saying you're phoning in the year, I'm not saying that at all, but you're 11 games under 500. You've got to learn something about some of these guys and what's in their belly. One ball, 1 strike.
Those are 2 pretty good pitches. Both of them right at the bottom of the strike zone.
He'll get Lindor on a line drive to second to end the innings. That's a nice way to finish things off for Romano. 2 stranded. Reds have 6 outs to play with.
All military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
All right, so 7 innings tonight from Big Sally. Pally, not bad. Mistakes early. You talked about being up in the strike zone. Gave up the home runs to Lindor and Ramirez. But that's not a bad line.
Once he got the ball back down in the strike zone, at one point where he retired 15 in a row.
All right, so the top of the order against Bauer, who's still out there. 100 pitches on the nose. He is Fan Schebler 3 straight times, who had 4 hits here last night, including a home run.
And they have all come on the curveball.
Schebler, notorious first pitch swinger. Although he takes a fastball here on the first pitch, that's a bit of a surprise.
Check out these hooks. And you would say, well, why don't you look for the curveball? Can't hit it even if you look for it. That's a tough pitch to hit.
Schebler, a 2-hopper down to the third baseman Ramirez for the first out here in the 8th.
Now to the plate for the Reds. Second baseman, Dilson Herrera.
Swing and a miss by Dilson Herrera, who had a really nice at bat his last time at the plate appearance. After striking out and tapping out to the pitcher, he took some tough pitches, falling behind an account, eventually wound up with a walk. Breaking ball, 1 ball, 1 strike to Herrera. Oliver Perez throwing once more. He was up the last half inning. Probably getting ready if they decided to make a move. Although with a 4-run lead, I'd be really surprised if we saw, even with Herrera getting on, Bauer come out of this game. But 107th pitch coming up. This has been one leaky Cleveland bullpen, and it's the reason they've thrown the fewest number of innings in the league, because they will stay with their starting staff, which is just outstanding. 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3, and Herrera knew it. What a dominating performance here tonight from Trevor Bauer. It's his 12th strikeout of the night.
I said it earlier, I don't think I've seen anybody on their game as much as what we've seen from Bauer here tonight. And I mean, you're doing it against an awfully good offensive club.
I know how many fingers that Perez has, but that's about the 7th or 8th shakeoff. I don't think he took the glove off and started putting down the other hand, did he?
I think he's trying to do whatever he can to play some head games with Bob.
I think you're right.
I think that's what that's about.
Well, he's had his way with Votto tonight. There's no debate about it. He struck him out looking in the 1st inning, got him on a soft liner to the second baseman in the 4th, and then a big out in this game with 2 on and 2 out in the 6th. Got Votto to ground out to Yonder Alonso.
Again, you could see Roberto Perez throwing down. I think he threw down 7 or 8 different signs.
Tell you what, our Fox box for the strike zone is pretty close to being pinpoint, and that was right inside the box.
There have been several pitches tonight that have been within that box.
Straight up into the air. Trevor Bauer, 8 innings of 3-hit shutout baseball. He just turned around and looked at Votto again. Huh? Something or nothing?
By authority of the Cincinnati Reds, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Beautiful, beautiful sunset, colors in the sky. Indians bat in the bottom of the 8th inning against a new, no, it's still Romano out there. First pitch swinging, fly ball. Billy Hamilton will have room off the bat of Michael Brantley, so Romano's going to be given a chance to go the distance.
So let me ask you this. When is the last time that you can recall a Reds pitcher and an opponent still in the ball game as starting pitchers this late?
I have no idea when. It's been so long. You're lucky to see 2 guys on the mound in the 6th.
The same 2 that started.
Yeah, the same. That's what I mean. Yeah. It's a great point. Great question. We might have to do a lot of digging for that. I mean, it would be in the days of the Cuetos and the Latos, right, and that group. But
I think the last time I can remember, it was Finnegan and Kershaw in Los Angeles.
This year?
No, this is
a couple of years
2
ago.
years ago.
Straight up in the air. Barnhart over near the stands, and I don't know. After every single Reds game here on Fox Sports Ohio, stick around for Reds Live, brought to you by Performance Kings Honda. Ryan Giesenslaw, Jeff Pecoro, Sam LeCure and company standing by. Getting their makeup on out there, out in right field. Getting all dolled up. 2-1 pitch. That's out by him. That's a rocket off the bat of Ramirez. He's coming to second. Here comes a throw, and just barely in there safely. Jim Riggleman may come get Romano.
Pretty good throw from Scott Shevler. It made it an awfully close play at second base.
Now Riggleman's going to stay with him. So he'll face Edwin Encarnacion 0 for 3 in the game. Romano's never had a complete game. Crockett, the former Indian, and Rainey, the right-hander. Ready.
Pretty good 2-0 pitch right there, especially when you're right at 100. That pitch started just off the outside corner, came right back to the outside edge.
Throw to third, and Suarez whiffed on the ball. Looked like a good throw.
I'm not sure that's the right play from Mr. Blandino right there. You're going to throw that ball to third in that situation, it's got to be a slam dunk out. Because with Encarnacion running, he is a slam dunk out at first base.
Yes.
That gives you 2 outs in the inning.
Yep. That's too bad. You read his lips. Great job to Romano, who leaves 1 out into this 8th inning. His team trailing 4-0. Pitched a decent game here tonight. This will be our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Alonso coming up. Batter will be the former Cleveland Indian back on the home turf, and Kyle Crockett. Rajai Davis will take over out at second base as a pinch runner for Edwin Encarnacion. Reds are already down 4-0. The infield will be drawn in. Yonder Alonso nearly hit with that pitch. In each of his last 2 outings, Crockett has come in to face 1 batter, and in each of the last 2 innings, that batter had a hit.
Well, that is Crockett's. That's his position. He's coming on to get 1 left-hander out, and you got to get him. Actually, he'll be looking at 2 left-handers in this ball game because Kipnis is still standing on deck.
Popped up. This will not bring in the run. The question is, can anybody catch this ball? And Blandino covers a lot of ground to do just that. That's a 2nd out, and that will be runners staying at 2nd and 3rd base.
Looked like Suarez was going to go get the baseball, but you can see the quick communication by the shortstop Blandino. Even though he wasn't as close as Suarez to the ball, Blandino made the call and had the better angle.
By the way, if you're wondering, they gave the error a minute ago to Blandino. Some may have been wondering, was it on Blandino or on Suarez? All right, so 1 more left-handed batter to get to send us to the 9th inning. Strike 1 on Kipnis. Crockett pitched a lot of baseball for these Indians over the last 3.5 years. Sure, he'd like to turn in a solid performance. Did not pitch here in the game last night.
Goodness, he is upset. He thought that ball was down.
Well, he got upset a couple of times last night. Those runners out there belong to Romano. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Good fastball there by Crockett.
3 straight.
All right, Reds will bat in the ninth. Will we see Bauer in the ninth? Game Hall of Fame induction ceremony honoring Fred Norman, Dave Bristol, and Adam Dunn. And the first 20,000 fans through the gates receive a Reds cap presented by Fox Sports Ohio. You can be there for $12. Log on to foxreds.com. And 30 minutes before the start of every game on Fox Sports Ohio, including tomorrow at 6:30, it's Reds Live presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Carlos Carrasco, Tyler Mahle. That's an excellent pitching matchup tomorrow night. Mahle is on quite a roll, the best roll of his very young major league career. Cody Allen, the Indians closer, has only blown 1 save all year long. He has struck out 44 in 36 innings, but given up 5 home runs. He had a great month of April, did Allen. May and June were not good. He had an ERA of almost 4 in May. In June, it was almost 5.5. He had a couple of losses. But so far here in July, he's only pitched 3 2/3 innings, but he has 2 saves and no runs.
Well, that may be why he's pitching tonight in a 4-0 ball game. Sometimes you just got to get your closer some work to keep him sharp.
Now, the Indians lost 2 out of 3 games over the weekend to the Oakland Athletics to begin this homestand, and then they'll play the Yankees Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday leading up to the break after the Reds get out of town, and that'll be here in Cleveland. What an outing by Trevor Bauer. A lot to smile about. Punched out 12, allowed 3 hits and no runs, walked 4. Going 2 on Scooter. You know, the Reds struck out a ton last night. Clevenger struck out 11 in 6 innings. And here Bauer punches out 12 in 8.
We talked about it earlier, 4 starters with over 100 strikeouts.
Yeah, so they're doing that to a lot of people. It's a good looking rotation they have. Really good.
Oh,
yep, they got him on the hand.
Breaking ball, like it started in and it just kept coming in.
Boy, that's refreshing to see. I can't remember the last time I saw a baseball player do what Jeanette just did. Riggleman and the training staff was coming out, and he looked right at him and said, "No, go back to the dugout. Just go back. I'm fine." Got him on the back of the hand is where he pointed.
Back of that right hand.
This game is not over. It is not over.
There have been many times this year where we have seen the Reds put 6s and 7s on the board, even with 2 outs in an inning. In an inning.
That's right. Suarez is 0 for 3. He struck out all 3 times tonight against Trevor Bauer. But you look at Schebler, struck out 3 times, Herrera twice, Votto once. I'll be interested to hear if there was anything going on, or maybe it's just, you know, a whole lot of nothing going on there with Bauer and Votto tonight. Suarez struck out 3 times. Winker's been on base 3 times. Barnhart struck out once, Blandino once, Hamilton once. Everybody in the lineup struck out at least 1 time except for Jeanette and Winker. Oh boy.
Close, but not close enough.
Diving play, but off the glove of the diving third baseman Ramirez, and all of a sudden now the Reds have the first 2 aboard here in the 9th inning. And that extends a hitting streak to Suarez.
Breaking ball, and he tagged that one.
Second time this year he's had a hitting streak of this length. But more importantly, the Reds have a little something cooking. There's at least a spark here in the 9th inning. Winker has walked twice and singled. Ball 1. One ball, 1 strike.
Allen is really trying to stay down with Winker here. The last 2 fastballs have been right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Ahead of Jesse in 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-1, nobody out in the Cincinnati 9th inning. Nowhere near the strike zone on that fastball.
To go up there, see if you can get him to chase.
I can promise you there are a lot of Indians fans here tonight, of 22,000 of them almost, that are right on the edges of their seats. They have seen this bullpen, even though Allen's only blown 1 save. Oh boy, you got to be kidding. Let's see where this one was. I think Winker might have a pretty good gripe here. This looked down and in. Yep, right there. Good pitch. Really good pitch. That's a strike.
That's one of those breaking balls. As a hitter, you're thinking that that ball is coming to you, and it actually goes straight down and just drops right on the inside corner. It's tough to pull the trigger on that pitch because it never started within the zone.
Here's Tucker Barnhart. 0 for 3 tonight. Bauer would pick up his 9th win against 6 losses. Romano would pick up his 9th loss against 5 victories. Crockett retires the only 2 batters he faces tonight behind Sal Romano with a strikeout. He threw the ball well.
There's certainly no doubt that we have seen why Trevor Bauer is an all-star.
Yep.
In 2018.
Man, was he impressive. And just having a great year. Came in with the ERA at 2.5.
And dropping.
Yes, quickly. Boy, Allen just taking forever out there on the mound. 2 on, 1 out, 1 and 2 on Tucker Barnhart. In the air left field. Hit pretty well. And a nice running catch out there by Michael Brantley. That's a big play in this game. Reds are down to their final out.
Just know where the wall is once you hit 1 foot on that dirt track. And he knew exactly where it was. Did not have to jump. Made it look easy.
Jose Peraza will come up and bat for Alex Blandino. Solid year for Peraza. 273, 5 home runs, 30 batted in. A rare off night for him in regard to being in the starting lineup. Not being in the lineup. He went 0 for 5, struck out 3 times here last night. So he's getting a night off from his manager. 2 outs. And a little flare will drive in a run. A base hit by Peraza. And the Reds will bring the tying run to the plate. A pinch hit run scoring single.
Breaking ball, caught it right off the end of the bat, just out of the reach of Alonso.
But now Adam Duvall will come up to bat for Billy Hamilton, of course, with the hope that Duvall could run into one and tie this game up here in the 9th inning. And here comes Carl Willis.
And this has got to be nothing more than just a refresher on how they're going to go after Duvall here.
Of course, he had a big one in the 9th inning in Chicago on Sunday to tie the game. Long home run. And take a look at this. 4 of Adam Duvall's home runs this season. It's 4 out of 14 have come in the 9th inning. Tied for the most in all the Major League Baseball.
Well, let's go.
May as well break that tie. He's a tying run at the plate. Still hope for the Reds faithful that have made the trek here to Cleveland. All right. Duvall waiting and Cody Allen. will bring it to the plate. Breaking ball, strike one. Ball and one strike on Duvall. One pitch coming. Breaking ball again down and away from him, and he comes up empty.
Evidently, the scouting report says all breaking balls to Duvall because that's all he's throwing.
Well, he rarely ever hits anything to right field anymore. And when he was going well at times the last couple of years, he'd do a lot of that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're going out there, I'm sure, again. Yep. Started. Did he go? No. They're not going to end the game on that. Nope, didn't go. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. 9th inning. In the air, left center field. This ball will find the gap. 1 run will score. They're going to wave around the second runner. And it's a pinch hit 2-run double by Duvall. And now the Reds are down by a single run. How about that?
All breaking balls in the at bat to Duvall. And this last breaking ball, it stays on the plate and up. And he just went out and hooked it.
Hitting up from Cincinnati, number 23, Scott Shepard.
They're going to intentionally walk Shebler, and they're going to pitch to Herrera. So they just put the go-ahead run on base as a left-handed batter. I mean, Herrera just called up to the big leagues. He has a grand total tonight of 3 at-bats, 4 plate appearances. He's drawn a walk, 0 for 3. This inning started with Scooter Gennett in a 4-0 game getting hit by a pitch. Suarez had an infield single, then back-to-back outs, but since then, pinch hit RBI single by Peraza, pinch hit 2-run double by Duvall. Tying run at second, lead run at first. Dilson Herrera, the batter, looks at a first pitch fastball high.
You know, we say this all the time, but how many times does the closer come in? It's not a save situation, and he gets hammered. You have to figure out a way to elevate yourself emotionally.
Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, I'll tell you what, win, lose, or draw tonight, tomorrow, whatever. If this Cleveland team has any hopes of playing deep into October, they better do something about this bullpen, because this bullpen is a mess. And they know it. 1 ball, 1 strike. See if Herrera can get a big knock. Boy, how about that pick right there? I think the ball found his mitt more than him finding the ball. Wow.
If that's a left-handed batter, it might have been behind him.
Yeah. Two and one on Herrera. His first start as a Red. Can he be a hero here tonight in the 9th? That ball fouled away, and it goes to 2-2. I would think the hook's coming again, don't you?
I would say so.
Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. 2 outs in the 9th inning. 2-2. Came with a fastball. Up and out of the zone. So now the runners get started. And we know Schebler can run. Gilson Herrera with a huge chance. All eyes on him right now as the runners go 3-2 down a run. 2 outs in the 9th inning. And Allen bringing it. Fouled out of play. Will do it again.
He centered that right in the heart of the plate.
Trevor Bauer, 8 innings of 3-hit shutout baseball. And now his 9th victory of the season very much hangs in the balance. 3 runs here in the Reds' 9th against the closer Allen. With a tying run at second and the go-ahead run, Schebler at first. Both runners get started on this 3-2 pitch. And they're loaded for Joey Votto.
Wow.
That's a hit batter and 2 walks, and that is all for their closer. Oh my goodness. Otero will come on. We saw him last night. Dan Otero. As Cody Allen can't get 3 outs with a 4-run lead in the 9th inning. Wow. The dugout and immediately on the computer pulls up video of the new pitcher Dan Otero. He worked an inning, allowed base hits to the first 2 he faced in the game last night, Suarez and Winker, but then he got 3 outs against 2 batters. That's what we're talking about with the Indians bullpen. Not good.
And left-handers hitting .348 against Dan Otero. And you have one of the best standing at the plate.
The last time Otero had a save was on the 18th of May 2016 against the Reds. Bases are loaded. The tying run is at third, the go-ahead run at second, and Joey Votto, the batter, looks at ball 1. Votto went 0 for 4 tonight, all 4 at bats against Trevor Bauer. And you see his numbers against Otero. Huge situation for Votto. That's why you pay him the big bucks to deliver the goods with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Can he do it? 2-0. You'll hear people say, you know, small sample size. Well, I'm so tired of that term I can't see straight. But this is why you pay guys the big money, is to get the hit right here and right now. And you see his numbers this year with runners in scoring position. Votto this year, with 2 outs and the bases loaded, is 0 for 3. With 2 outs and in runners in scoring position, is batting .212. So this has been a tough spot for Votto. Even those overall numbers look very good with runners in scoring position. With 2 outs, he's 7 for 33. 3-1 pitch. That's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right down the can. Votto even sort of a funny look. Think he thought that was a ball?
I think he knew it was a strike.
All right. All the money on the table.
Everybody running.
Time to turn over the cards. Reds are down a run. They have their best player at the plate. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. 3-2. In the gap right center field, and Votto delivers the goods. 3 runs are going to score, and that's why you pay Votto the big bucks. Holy Moses! A 6-run Cincinnati 9th inning. It's what you said earlier. We've seen this from this team this year. Unbelievable. And Votto, a huge base hit.
For those of you that do not understand what clutch is, you just saw it. And you don't get that on a computer. You get it with a bat in a tough situation. That was large.
This is unbelievable. This ball was smoked. And the reaction in the dugout, exactly what you would think. Look at that. Great stuff. Cody Allen in 2/3 of an inning gives up 6 earned runs. 6. And he had 2 on and 2 out with not a single run home in this 9th inning. It's the 5th time this season. It's something Jeff Brantley brought up when the 9th inning started, and we said this game's not over. We said it after the Jeanette was hit. 6 or more runs in an inning 5 times in the last 20 games. And now Suarez with a knock into right field. They're going to wave around Votto. Throw goes into third, where Jeanette, after the intentional walks in a rundown, but the run will count, so it's a 7-run Cincinnati 9th inning. Votto. Ho! Doctor is at a big one. Ho! Is at a big one. Iglesias will try and nail it down when we come back.
Baseball on Fox Sports Ohio has been brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Toyota. For over 30 offers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. What a 9th inning. 7 on the board. Bigger hits in a bigger situation. We haven't seen that in some time.
I mean, this whole ballpark is just in shock, and I can't imagine what it's like down in that Cleveland dugout.
Quiet.
Well, yeah, you're right. A batter was hit. There were 3 walks issued in that 9th inning. 2 by Allen, who also hit the batter to start the inning. And then the intentional walk of Jeanette. So now Iglesias tries to close it out.
Well, we've talked about this Reds offense time and time again, and it shows you how well Trevor Bauer pitched for 8 innings of this ball game. I mean, he gave the Reds nothing.
Fly ball, short left center. Out of the reach of Peraza. It's a bloop single by Naquin. So all kinds of changes defensively for the Reds. Duvall stays in to play left. We'll just tell you about him. Duvall stays in the game to play left field. Schebler moves over to center, and there you see Winker now moves over to right. And in the infield, Peraza stays in to play shortstop. He had a big pinch hit single in that 9th inning. And Duvall with a big pinch hit 2-run double. Strike one on Perez.
Back on the ball game that Sal Romano finished up, especially after those first 2 innings. Shining pretty bright right now.
So that's 1 out here in the 9th after the strikeout of Perez. Sal Romano cannot get the win in this game. The win would go to Crockett, who got the last 2 outs in the 8th. But he kept him in the game.
Score 7 runs like that just makes you never give up. You always feel like you have a chance.
Allen waves through the pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. One and 2 on Allen. And a pitch on the way, got him swinging, blew him away with a fastball at upper 90s. And after a bloop single to start the inning, Iglesias has fanned 2 straight. He's an out away from, I'm not going to say the most improbable win, but certainly right near the top in quite some time. Iglesias got his 18th save here last night, looking for number 19 tonight. Found out a play by Lindor.
I would imagine in the conversation of the Ohio Cup, this one will be remembered quite dramatically if you're a Reds fan, and try to forget it if you're an Indians fan.
Yes. A 7-run Cincinnati top of the 9th inning against the closer Cody Allen. 6 of the 7 against him. Otero did not retire a batter. He came in, allowed the double to Votto. He intentionally walked a batter. Gave up an RBI single to Suarez. The only out he recorded was when they got Jeanette in a rundown. 0-2 the count. Back to the mound, and what an unbelievable victory for the Cincinnati Reds in Cleveland here tonight. Listen to the crowd. Votto delivers a good, so too did Peraza, so too did Duvall. Each of the 3 driving in big runs, and Suarez to cap off the 7-run 9th inning. Reds had won just 2 games in the last 18 they had played in this ballpark coming into this series, and tomorrow they'll go for the sweep.
Give the offense a chance.
They had 3 hits and no runs in the first 8 innings against Trevor Bauer. And then our Miller time hold true moment, what else would it be? Reds' best hitter in the biggest situation of the night. 3-run double. Yes, indeed. Joey Votto will be standing by with Jeff McCorrow when we come back. Reds Live begins on the other side of this commercial break. Reds win 7-4.